Okay, so I actually meant to hop into some Fire Emblem Fates like way earlier today, but a bunch of things came up. A whole bunch of stuff came up, and today wound up being a day about helping friends and family, essentially, is what today essentially became. Hello, Gaming Templar. Good morning to you as well, even though here, I guess if you want to count after midnight as that, then that counts. I actually meant to stream during this morning, but then, what? That's not a transition. Whoa, where's my camera? Weird. Let's go ahead and fix that real quick. Ooh. Something like that-ish. If it focuses in, sort of. Looks strangely slightly blurry, and I don't understand. I don't understand things. I actually meant to do this freaking stream like this actual morning, local time here, because I want to get back into doing my freaking EU-friendly Fire Emblem Fridays freaking thingamabob that we do around here. But, freaking, everything fell apart. I got occupied with a whole bunch of stuff. I think there's a new freaking statue I can build. Yeah, Jacob's statue. Let's go ahead and do that and still not bother to upgrade any of them. I've been getting support conversations at the ready, because I need to get a lot of ace supports hammed out and a whole bunch of levels hammed out to get my builds ready for potential child units and such, because my goodness gracious, so most of my characters still need their necessary A pluses. Almost 3 here. Yeah, it's almost 1 here, so I guess 2-hour time difference there. I wound up doing a whole bunch of thingamabobs today. Wound up going over to my grandparents' place to help them out doing the first lawn mowing of the year, and whenever I go visit them, I always bring the doogie along, and she loves visiting them. And after I had cut the lawn, she went out onto the freshly cut grass and she started rolling. She was just so content. And then on my way home from there, I swung by the pet store because I just decided, like, hey, on my way home I may as well, while I'm out and about, pick up my leopard gecko some crickets and such. And I picked him up a hornworm as well, so he was kind of happy about that. I just turned up the game sound a little bit. Hello, Mortis. But I have brought my doggy into the pet store before, and she absolutely hated it, probably because, like, so many unfamiliar smells and stuff like that, just overwhelmed, and she really hates going in there. But today was a nice day. It wasn't too warm or anything like that. It was a pretty pleasant day out, so I just left the windows open a little bit and went in. I had to leave her in the car, and she seemed so sad. She was like, "Why are you leaving me in here? What are you doing?" So, I decided while I was in there, I'd pick her up something as well. So I went and I picked up this little stuffed bear toy filled with this kind of water bottle crinkly stuff that she was quite happy with. So when I got back in the car, I gave that to her, and she was kind of content with that. I have a picture here that I posted to Twitter earlier today. So she was quite content. She was quite content about that situation. She wasn't that happy when she had to stay behind for me to, like, run in and get my gecko crickets and all that fun stuff, but she was quite happy to, get something that she happily tore apart here later in the day. And I had to pick up all the stuffing of, because my goodness, stuffed toys definitely do not last very long around here. And then immediately after I got home, I started helping my dad with this camper that he's been insulating. It's like this camper that he recently got at, like, a very cheap price of somebody who was just trying to, like, get rid of it and such. And apparently, like, the sides and bottom weren't very well insulated, so we spent a good part of today getting some insulation on there, freaking putting plywood on top of that, and, freaking nailing it in, and yada to, make sure that it's insulated properly. He's been doing a freaking lot of work on this camper that's in the backyard there. He recently took out the flooring that was there and replaced it with a nice laminate thing, so he's freaking flushing out this camper that we've got back there now for his idea of getting back into, like, physical activity and being out and about during time that he's, like, recovering from knee injuries and yada, figuring he can take it and go fishing on some lakes here and there. So yeah, that's kind of been his little passion project lately, I guess. And it's funny because the neighbor is doing something very similar right now. The neighbor is decking out, like, this big work van to be, like, a whole living space, essentially, that he plans on taking around all over the place. So It seemed so literally both here and next door you can hear like loud noise of like saw, nail guns, freaking other stuff happening. Literally just on the other side of the fence of these two guys, each working on decking out their own little on-the-go living spaces. Sometimes it'd be that way, I guess. I did a lot of grinding for new support conversations, most of which was for the next level of support towards A+ that most people need. I mean, there are some support conversations that just kind of wound up happening along the way that I didn't exactly need for, you know, A+ or anything like that just happened along the way. But most of the supports that I actually specifically grinded for were like, okay, let's make progress towards getting more people to A+. I also grinded, like, while I was doing that, a lot of my units gained some levels and such. Okay, I did a little bit of a dedicated thing with Jacob here to get him decked out in his kinda probably final stuff. I'm really sad that I can't A+ with Silas to get Silas's secondary class, since Jacob already has the Cavalier line. No, the freaking A+ gives him Cavalier anyway, so now that I know that that's how A+'s work, is that this was something that we established last time in terms of, you know, why things weren't transferring properly. It makes me sad that I can't get Soul on Jacob. That freaking sucks. But I did level him up in a few different things. It was a massive pain to get him to, you know, deal damage to those grinding enemies with him using magic, because my goodness, he freaking sucks at magic when he was in Strategist to briefly get that. Let me tell you, it was a bit of an uphill battle to do that. But the main unit that I did a bunch of stuff with was my unit. I was like, hey, if I'm gonna go around collecting skills potentially, then if I'm past level 15, then freaking sweet, then there's no other things that I can get from this class. I have no reason to stay in this class anymore. So we can go ahead and reclass. And this is literally my last heart seal that I have, so at some point I'm gonna have to go visiting some other castles again and pick up some more heart seals, because yeah, they're gone. I used my heart seals was the thing. So we are gonna go ahead and do this, and apart from the beginning of the playthrough where we start out in, like, you know, canon class, I guess, we're actually going to finally switch over to our kind of canon class for a bit of time, get some skills in here. It is going to absolutely tank my resistance stat that I specifically leveled up in Master Ninja for a good while to help try and put a little bit of a band-aid on. But my goodness, it feels like the moment I freaking leave the thing, it's just like, oh, way up there goes stuff. I mean, I'm sure if I wasn't leveling up in Master Ninja for as long as I would with that 20% res growth rate, the resistance probably would have been even worse. But you know, we also got Ace skill maxed out, so that's something. So that's certainly something. Yeah, we gained the ability to use stabs, and oh yeah, Dragon Stones. You know, I honestly kind of forgot about Dragon Stones for a hot second, honestly. I honestly kind of did for a hot second. So look at that. We're going to be trying out Hashido Noble for a hot while. Imagine actually playing as Hashido Noble in Fire Emblem Fate's Birthright. Isn't that a wacky thought? Isn't that just a wacky idea, to say the least? I guess it's time for Reading Simulator 101. We've got a lot of support conversations to get through, is going to be the thing, because a lot of people needed, you know, certain A+. Like Felicia and Hannah here, for example. I believe that Felicia was going to A+ Hannah so that she could get access to skills like Astra and such from the samurai line. So yeah, let's go ahead and do that. May as well start reading now. We're gonna be here for the next 3,000 years. Oh, Felicia, there you are. I can't freaking... I can't. Hannah. That chipper look on your face, I'm guessing you solved our conundrum. Sorry, I haven't. I've been thinking about it a ton, but I haven't settled on a simple answer. Oh. But you know what? I honestly don't think it's a question with a real answer. I mean, what is the square root of a negative number anyway? I don't think anyone can really tell you the answer to that, apart from it not existing. What? I've been trying to figure out if we're not I didn't misread that first. If we're not treating our masters as retainers should. You know what? We're retainers, so however we treat them is the right way. That's a bit of a broad definition, but, Lady Sakura, for example, never complains about my informality. So, we're doing everything right? Even though other retainers behave differently? Yes! Yes! What if I just gave Hana a Captain Falcon voice from now on? Our masters are like... What would Captain Falcon sound like anyway? He's a man of few words. Our masters are like family, friends, and comrades. We can't deny any of that. So we would be doing them a disservice to not treat them as all those things. Show me your moves. Knowing that, I think we don't need to be self-conscious about our behavior. You really think so, Captain Falcon? Yes! You think that your liege is someone you can trust, right? Just like the Blue Falcon. And also someone you can depend on. Yes, of course. Lord Harmonia has my complete and total trust. That's good. A worthy... What are the name of the racers in the... I've never played an F-Zero game. Is that bad? A worthy racer should. We need to trust them to the very end. That's the only thing a retainer must have. Our familiarity and friendship with them are perfectly fine as long as we trust them. So you're saying that the master-servant relationship revolves around trust? I actually feel a lot better. I think I always knew it, but I needed to hear it from you. In the end, that's why we dedicate our lives to to them, right? Yes, that's right. Yes. Then let's both swear to keep believing in our masters and show them our moves. We'll remain their retainers for as long as we are able. Yes, of course. Thank you, Hana. No problem. Blue Falcon. Thanks for helping me realize something important, Felicia. Thanks, Captain Falcon. Alright, let me check here. I always like to double check my thingamabobs here. Yeah, so it looks like my plan for Felicia was to A+ support Hana. And I always like saving before things, just in case things don't work out the way that I think they will for whatever reason. But I swear, we do this, and we get not Cavalier, we get freaking... Where are you, Felicia? There you are, jeez. We do that. Felicia and Hana reached A+ support. And then we should be able to go ahead and use this seal in your inventory, this friendship seal. And all of a sudden, yeah, we can go ahead and try out Swordmaster Felicia to get her some more new skills and stuff. So, have fun, Felicia. It was honestly kind of cool seeing you in Bow Knight. Throughout this whole playthrough, we're just going to have Felicia in, like, all sorts of different classes that she was probably never meant to be in. But, you know, it is what it is, I suppose. Have fun in Swordmaster for a hot while. Yeah, draw that sword. Look at that. Welp. Time for you to get some cool skills and stuff. You don't really need this right now. And who was it that Hana wanted to A+ support? I don't think it was Felicia back. I think it was someone else was the thing. Let me double check my thing here. Hana. Looks like I figured I may as well A+ Setsuna for Archer, even though I'm probably not going to use any of those skills. But I mean, yeah, it does have some alrighty stuff there. Wait. Hold on. For whatever reason, my spreadsheet, it lists like the 2 A+ options for Hana as Sakura and Setsuna. I don't even list Felicia as like one of the possibilities. I'll remedy that real quick. Like that. So hold on. Is Felicia a better option? What does the Troubadour line give? Remind me. Let's see here. So that gives like the inspiration, Tomebreaker, Live to Serve, yada yada. Tomebreaker can always be nice. But if I went for Archer instead, then I mean there's the heal nearby allies and stuff. Certain Blow's pretty nice for, you know, making sure your attacks land. And the Quick Draw is not half bad either, in case it's anything that you ever want, I guess. Hana's kid is... So, oh, I remember why I wanted to get Archer there, is because Sophie's final class is going to be Silas's daughter, the kiddo that Hana and Silas are having together. Sophie is going to be in the Bow Knight class, but with her class sets of Cavalier, Mercenary, and whatever she can get from like S and A+ support, she's not going to have access to Archer. So I actually need Hana to get Archer from Setsuna, so that she can get Bowfair, and then pass it down to her daughter Sophie, who can be a Bow Knight with Bowfair. I remember now. I remember. Alrighty, well, here's Swordmaster Felicia. Look at that. Love Felicia's running gag. She'll fail amazingly at everything, but when it comes to combat, she'll beat you to death with a pillow. Well, I mean, she's beating enemies to death in this playthrough with everything but a pillow. So far, she's been absolutely destroying some stuff. Yeah, let's, yeah, look at that. Look at that, Swordmaster Felicia. Yes! What, was Captain Falcon Hana an influence on you, Felicia? Alright, well, let's see your other support conversation that we queued up here. Too slow. Much too slow, Felicia. Can't afford to be so careful. The tea is going cold. I'm sorry, Jacob. Okay, I've set all the snacks on the table. All that's left is... Oh no. I'm impressed, Felicia. Impressed with how you serving snacks resulted in an overturned table. I'm sorry? All you have to do is pour tea and present the snacks. Is it really that hard? I got flustered and tried to hurry. Never mind. I'll prepare everything. Please, Jacob, let me at least help. Your help will only slow me down. Please, just stand over there and watch. Understood. Oh, this is so mean. Oh, so saddening. Well, let's just go through all our freaking support conversations here, I guess, is what we'll do. Lady Azura, I have something to ask you. Oh, and what would that be? 2 trains are traveling at each other from, you saved my life the other day, but I don't understand. Why did you do that? I've been so horrible to you. You must hate me. Of course I don't hate you. Besides, we're allies, aren't we? We were just looking out for Harmonia. I understand why you said those things. What did Silas say again? I don't even remember. Whatever. You do. Even after all I said, you still found it in your heart to forgive me. You are a mysterious woman, Azura, but I think I finally understand you. From now on, I'll never doubt you or your loyalty again. Thank you, Silas. I would enjoy it if we could be friends from now on. Yes, me too. Oh, that was a very short one. I mean, I'm not complaining. It's easier on my freaking voice. Okay, if I was doing a playthrough where I just freaking paired off people who, like, I thought were the best to, like, ship together with no freaking care in the world about, like, stats or skills and children or anything like that, and I just purely did who I thought was, like, great together, freaking Azura and Caden, A to S support, is the freaking way to go. Like, but the thing is, you freaking pair those two together, and the resultant child units that you get for both Caden and Azura's child. My goodness, the defense growth rates and maximum stat modifiers are just, like, non-existent. It's just freaking, it's awful. Like, they made such a good freaking support pairing that just sucks in practice when you put them together, unfortunately. So, like, a super serious, pay attention to stats and skills and all that stuff playthrough, I'm not going to be putting these two together. But, you know, if I was doing, like, a hella casual playthrough, just put people together who I wanted to see be put together, freaking Azura Caden all the way. But, hi, Azura. Jeez, you've got a scary look on your face right now. Oh, hello, Caden. What do you mean? Seems like you've got a bee in your bonnet, or hairdo thingy. Well, what's up? I'm afraid I don't understand. This is my usual face. Nothing is bothering me, except the slow march of time that brings us all closer to an inevitable doom. Wow, that's seriously impressive. Man, I couldn't look that uptight if I tried. Oh, I guess not. You always have that silly grin on your face, don't you? Yep. If I'm not careful, people will think I've lost my claws and turned into a pet fox. And what would be wrong with that? I wish I could frolic through life the way you do. You do? Aw, you're making my tail wag. Look, I can't freaking say some of these things out seriously. And then everyone's gonna take it out of context. And, Azura, is something wrong? You're giving me a crazy look right now. Forgive me for staring. I've just never seen your tail up close. It's so fluffy. I always forget that humans don't have tails. It's too bad. They're amazing. Yes, well, I better get going. Can't believe I almost reached out to pet him. Alright, catch you later. Oh, wow, Azura's so lucky. She got that serious look down pat. I gotta practice so everyone will think I'm cool, calm, and collected. Just like her. Well, there's most certainly that. Let's see this one here. Goodness, these boxes are heavier than I thought. Azura, what are you doing carrying all those weapons by yourself? It's not a problem. I'm, like, literally the highest level person in this entire army. Here, let me help with that. Wow, some of these are heavy. Why don't you carry that lighter box over there? Thanks, Ryoma. Would it kill you to ask for help once in a while? I'm sorry, I think I just got carried away. You know I hate bothering people. And I know I have some close friendos who are just like that. I have some close friendos who regularly suffer through a lot of emotional trouble. And it's always me that freaking reaches out to, like, check in on things, never the other way around, because these friends are like, oh, I don't want to be a bother and stuff like that. I'm like, how would that even freaking be a bother? Someone reaching out to me because they need help is never a bother, you know? But I definitely understand that there are a lot of people that have that mindset where they're just like, I can't reach out to people and, like, bother them and yada yada, because I know several people like that personally that I wish would reach out to me for that very reason, but it's not a bother. I'd be glad to help you. I'm here for you anytime, really. It's kind of what I've said to said friends. Thanks, Ryoma. Now please, will you stop worrying about me? Excuse me. Azura, wait. I really thought you'd warm up to me one day. Got to try something else. What are you gonna try the next time, Ryoma? What's it going to be? Takami! Ah, yes, I think this is going to be another A+ thingamabob here, is what's going on here. Man, if only he could get Cavalier from Jacob, rather than the Troubadour line from A+. That'd be pretty cool, but alas, what you gonna do? I did it! I finally won a match! This is freaking me when I play Smash Bros against Carvia. You did it. You beat me. Sure, it was only one match. But you've got momentum. At this rate, you may soon surpass me on the battlefield. Really? Well, you don't have to sound so happy about it. That would be amazing! This is what I've been training for! Hey, wait a minute. What's wrong? You went easy on me today, didn't you? You're just trying to make me feel better. Oh, is that what you think? Listen, Takumi. You're going to be one of the best soldiers that Shido has ever seen. I can't afford to take your training lightly. I give you my all every time we practice. You do? Really? Yes. Today, you beat me fair and square. Wow, I can't believe it! This win should boost your confidence. Thanks, Ryoma. I'm so happy that I'm getting stronger. But I'm going to take your advice. I want to keep my options open. After the war's over, I plan to study government like you suggested. I think that's a great idea. Will you promise to help me study? Of course I will. I'm your big brother. It's my job to help you go after your dreams. Neat. It's a fear of people getting mad at you. You know your crippling anxiety disorder makes you terrified of social interaction, upsetting people. Yeah, that's something that I can understand there. For as long as well, not as long as I can remember. I can actually remember life before, but for as long as is in most of the memory that I have nowadays, I freaking always worry about what other people think about me and like potentially giving negative impressions and all that stuff. And if I think I've done or said anything that gave somebody a negative impression, then I'm gonna be that kind of person that freaking can't sleep at all for like the entire night because I can't stop thinking about it and stuff is basically the situation there. Let's see here. Alright, let's check the spreadsheet again. So yeah, Ryoma wants A+ Silas for Cavalier, and he's already done that and gotten Luna as a result. And Takumi wanted A+ Ryoma for the Samurai line. Looks like he can do so with Hinata as well, but we're already there with like Ryoma and such as well. Mood, it really is, isn't it? Hello, Braid Solo. Hope you're doing awesome today. Yes, so we are going to A+ Ryoma here, and that'll give Takumi access to the Samurai line, which is handy Dan. I don't know if you know anything about Fire Emblem. I know that we do a lot of wacky different stuff on this channel, so, you know, this is certainly something very different from a lot of other stuff. I do, to say the least. Yeah, so we gain access to that. We're probably going to keep on leveling in our current thing for now, because we still have some skills to obtain in our current thingamabob. But yeah, just doing old archive stuff in DBD. I might wind up doing the same-ish in the near future, because I'm almost done with the first page of the new tome that opened up and such. I have one more blue glyph to find in the freaking one survivor challenge, and it just keeps not spawning for me, and it sucks. But yeah, hello, wait, Tot? Is that Tot? Or is it Tot? I'm gonna say Tot. Hello, welcome to the shenanigans. Nope, you've got no idea what's going on. Alright, so Fire Emblem is essentially a series, it's a Nintendo series developed by Intelligent Systems that is a tactical RPG all about moving your units around a battlefield and such. Moving them in tactical ways like freaking chess on steroids times 3,000 is what it feels like a lot of the time. So everybody has their freaking stats and yada yada, all their freaking stuff and all the thingamabobs, and you gotta tactically move them around the map and try to freaking achieve victory. But one of the most famous parts about Fire Emblem is that unlike several other tactical RPGs, all of the characters that exist in your army are like full-on characters and such, like with their own personalities that you build up like relationships with and all that fun stuff. Some people have compared it to Persona as an example before. So, you know, even though most of the gameplay is freaking a tactical RPG, there are times like this where we're just going to be doing freaking reading simulator for the next hour, because the more you have your allies fight next to one another, the more they freaking get to like one another, and the more support conversations you get, that you get to see them interacting with one another, and that makes them fight better with one another, and all that fun stuff. And I did some grinding off camera, so now freaking almost my whole army has support conversations available. So we're literally going to be reading here for like the next 3,000 years before we hop back into any of the tactical stuff. But yeah, yeah, it's gonna be a freaking video game novel now. Except, freaking, it's just a, whoops, just a freaking mini plot line of each of the support conversations that, you know, is all kinds of wacky stuff. But yeah, nothing can beat the Nintendo Switch calculator. I saw you mentioning that in Discord earlier, Mortis, where apparently there's like a $10 freaking calculator on the Nintendo Switch on the eShop, and apparently everyone's rating it super high and treating it like it's the greatest thing that was ever created or something like that. That's certainly something. But yeah, it's been, before starting this playthrough on this channel, it's been a long time since I played this game, and I forgot that it has as much reading as it does. So by the end of this, my throat is gonna freaking hurt, because we're doing reading up the yin yang. And loose. Ah, Prince Takumi. I see you all practicing your archery today. Indeed, alone. It seems odd for you to point that out. After all, you did say you wanted to train without anyone knowing you were. Yes, but... no, never mind. If you aren't here to help, then you can leave. I have a question for you, Prince Takumi. 2 trains are traveling at each other, and, what? What is it you expected me to do to help you train? It seems like all I would be able to do is sit and watch you fire arrows at targets. With help, I could do some different kinds of training. You really are pretty self-centered and lazy, you know that? Just another of your misconceptions, Prince Takumi. I simply prioritize Lord Harmonia over all others, as I should, being his retainer. But to the complete exclusion of all others? That's not something to be proud of. Anyway, you're not planning to just hang around all day, right? You're distracting. Actually, Lord Harmonia asked me to help you with your training. Since it was a direct request from him, I happily obey. Really? Well then. You can help by standing over here. Just know that Lord Harmonia only asked me to help you with your training, and that's all. I will not do anything that doesn't directly relate to your practice. Incredibly difficult to work with. That's just a matter of opinion. Lord Harmonia doesn't complain. Fine, just sit over there. Understood. I'm glad to be of service. Now put this apple on your head. Prince Takumi, I don't see how this... You're helping with my archery training. This will help me practice discipline. While it's tempting to aim a little lower, I must fight that impulse and hit my target. You can refuse, of course, but I'll inform Harmonia that you weren't helpful. Okay. Don't worry, I haven't messed the shot up yet. Though, that could mean I'm due to make a mistake. Maybe I could have been a bit nicer. Well, you've been playing through Morrowind, so you had to learn to read again? That would be wait, that would... No, I'm freaking... What am I thinking of? Freaking... Is that You might have to remind me what Morrowind is again. Because, my goodness, I freaking knew it. I haven't been super involved with that kind of stuff before. Jacob is Lawful Chaos. I was about to say, is that one of the earlier Elder Scrolls games? Oh, dang it, right as I said it, the Elder Scrolls 3. At first I was like, wait, that sounds familiar, and it sounds familiar in terms of relation to Elder Scrolls, but isn't the 4th one called Oblivion? Is it the one before that? But no, who plays the one before that? No, I don't even know. So I thought that it was something about that, but I wasn't 100% sure. So it is the Elder Scrolls 3, gotcha. So, yeah, I don't know if we're ever gonna do, like, a proper Elder Scrolls thing on this channel. There was a charity stream that we did last year, I think, where people who donated for the Stollery Children's Hospital could, like, request games for me to play in, like, 1-hour time slots, and one of them was Skyrim, so we briefly hopped into Skyrim for, like, 1 hour on this channel. But even before I was a content creator, I never actually beat the game. I only put in, like, 10 hours to it back then. Maybe it's the kind of thing that we'd play, like, properly on the channel one day? I don't know. But yeah, Morrowind and Oblivion are considered the best Elder Scrolls games by most people. Personally, I love Oblivion. Huh, gotcha. All I know is that when I was in, like, how long ago was it? High school? Early high school? Late junior high? I don't even remember. But freaking... I remember back when it was, like, I think newish. I'm not 100% certain. Freaking everybody I knew was recommending me to pick up Skyrim, and I never did. I only picked it up, like, 3,000 years later when it came out on the Switch, and I tried it for a little bit before I was a content creator, like the pretty early Switch days. And I was into it for a while, and then I think I just got distracted with, like, other games or something like that. I don't even know. Freaking let's get an Azama conversation here is what we'll do. Let's do an Azama Caden one is what we'll do. Zama, wait up. It's so cool how you can hear the Great One's voice. I was wondering if there was a way for me to hear his voice too. You really want to hear it that badly, don't you, Caden? Well, if you dedicated yourself to dang it, wasn't it like the C support that I literally needed to like Google the pronunciation for this term? Wasn't it like ascetic? I'm Googling it again. I'm playing it.
Ascetic.
Ascetic. It was. I freaking sort of remembered. Well, if you dedicated yourself to ascetic training like I did, it could happen. But there's no guarantee, understand? I'll do what I can to help you, of course. Really? You mean it? Thanks, Azama, you're the best. There's a waterfall right nearby. Tell me, have you ever done deep immersion waterfall meditation? Huh? What's that? I didn't even know such a thing existed. It's an ancient practice where one sits beneath a waterfall for a long, long time. This meditative period helps to clear one's mind of obstructive thoughts. It's quite effective if done properly. You have to be crazy. I sat under a waterfall, I'd just end up getting soaked. Not to mention that it's freezing out. If I caught cold, it'd be bad news. In fact, this whole gosh darn it. How is it spelled here? Okay, there's an A there. Oh, what? Is there not a button for me to hit on Google that says how it's pronounced? Whatever. But the idea sounds like big trouble. Did you think reaching a higher spiritual state would be simple? Of course, it's a great deal of trouble. If it was easy, everyone would be doing it. Considering how much you are already complaining, maybe we should call this off. I doubt you'll ever hear the Great One's voice with that attitude. Fine, okay, I'll give it a try. Freaking Azama's just out to get everyone. What are you laughing at? You really are a dope, aren't you? How could you possibly believe this nonsense? What are you talking about? I made up all this silliness about the Great One. You're very gullible. Did? Of course. For example, the other day, I read the clouds' movements. Mountain weather is always shifting, so I simply predicted the downpour. After training in the mountains for ages, it's easy for me to spot a storm coming in. So everything you said about the Great One was just made up? It's not true? It's nonsense. Total fiction. I've never heard of anyone being able to hear voices. Unless they were totally insane, of course. Tricked me. Made me out to look like some fool. You're the worst, Azama. My humblest apologies. It's just that your reactions were so earnest. I simply couldn't help myself. Freaking Azama's literally out to get everybody, it sure seems like. So much of the time. What a guy. But yeah, Skyrim's great, but you're tired of that province, like going to other areas of Tamriel, more the continent the Elder Scrolls takes place on. What is that word? You never seen it before? I think it was pronounced cockamamie? I don't even know, quite frankly. I don't know if it's a thingamabob that I've seen before. I have heard of it before. Azama is an internet troll. He really is, isn't he? He honestly is.